where residents have taken to the streets this morning after 5 bodies were found by police in the area at the weekend. Gauteng police say investigations suggest that 2 rival groups of illegal miners were involved in a shootout. The community is now demanding that police intervene. Newzroom Afrika's Zikhona Tshona is on the ground for us. Let's get an update from her on that. Zikhona, very good morning to you. A lot of tensions. I can see smoke within the atmosphere. What is happening out there?
Residents of Riverlea have blocked off many of the major roads that lead up to the area. That's including Main Reef Road, which is where we find ourselves. They say they want police to address the issue of illegal mining in this area very urgently. Over the weekend, 5 bodies were discovered by police in this community, and residents say for them it's almost a daily occurrence. So schooling here has also been stopped. Children are not going to school here this morning. In fact, we managed to speak to a number of children while driving up to this protest, and they were telling us how they themselves as children are having to hear gunshots almost on the daily. So residents are angry. They're saying they are fed up and they simply cannot live in the manner that they are. We do understand that 2 informal settlements are affected by the illegal mining in this area. Police are on the ground monitoring the situation. We did have a short while ago police having to use tear gas to disperse the crowd, but this community is saying it's tired, it needs this matter to be addressed urgently. They're saying gunshots here are almost a daily occurrence. I'm going to bring in Melanie Skeepers, who lives in one of the areas that have been affected by the illegal mining here, and is one of the leaders, in fact, of this protest here. Melanie, if you can just talk us through, what is life like for you as a resident of Riverlea, given what's going on here?
Oh, absolute hell. Absolute hell. So we are imprisoned in our own homes. We can't go out. As you can see, we're standing up for the very first time. After a number of years, complaining, writing letters, going to the police station, assisting for help, and our lives is a living hell. We are being terrorized by the illegal miners. We've got an informal settlement here. So we as South African citizens, we've got no freedom. We're in a land that's full of freedom, and yet we don't have our own freedom.
I was speaking to one of the parents who came out here this morning. No schooling in this area today, and the mother told me she would rather lose her job than have to go on experiencing what her child has to go on experiencing, saying her child's life is at risk. So today she's taking the day off work to make sure that she's part of this protest. This is how far it's come for you as parents, as this community.
No, most definitely. I mean, we are law-abiding citizens. This was our last resort. We are desperate. This is a desperate plea. And I feel her sentiment. On Saturday night alone, the gunshots were so bad, all the residents had to jump to the floor and lay on the floor because they were coming into our areas, shooting into our areas. They don't regard any life. So as a community, we have to come up and stand together.
Police are here. Police are also possibly watching this interview. What do you would like to say to authorities that are watching what's happening here in Riverlea?
You have failed us. You have failed us dismally. We've cried, we've asked for help, and we're not getting it. We're pleading. We're on our knees now. That is what you've brought us down to, on our knees. So we're asking, we're telling you, you have failed us as a community, you have failed us as a South African citizen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Skeepers, one of the community leaders here in Riverlea, saying they feel failed as residents here given the ongoing violence that has become normalized where they live. Just to hear children actually detailing what they hear, the gunshots, saying that one was saying earlier on that when he was walking to school last week, he saw a body on his way to school. So just those details coming out. There's a parent who says she's a healthcare worker and nurse, but today she decided to sacrifice going to work because she wants to ensure and protest for the safety of her child. So that's the scene as we see it now. Residents blocking. This is Main Reef Road, and police continue to monitor the situation here in Riverlea.
I understand that this is not the first time that residents have come out to get some attention, and they keep saying that Their demands and calls and cries for help are falling on deaf ears, that the violence continues, and there have also been complaints about service delivery.
Certainly, they're saying this is taking to the street for them is their last resort. Them barring their own children from going to school today is their last resort. They're saying they simply feel that government is not taking this seriously. I mean, it's unimaginable, unbelievable that 5 bodies were found in this area alone over the weekend, and they're saying for them it's something that has become normalized. It's something that they are used to, and they are hoping that government will take this seriously, especially given what happened here over the weekend. We know that police say that shootout between the rival gangs, according to their preliminary investigation, happened on Saturday night rather. But for people here, they're saying gunshots are daily. You heard from Melanie Skeepers there, the community leader in this area, saying on Saturday night, the gunshots were simply unbelievable, to a point where they themselves as residents had to try and find cover, lie on the ground. And there are children that are living in this violence. Children too are now on the streets, whereas they should be in school. So they're saying those residents of a New Canada informal settlement, as well as Zamimpilo informal settlement. Those are the 2 informal settlements that are caught out in this crossfire in that illegal mining. They're saying they simply cannot go on in the manner that they are. They simply cannot live like this. I'm just going to ask my colleague Njabulo to just keep on giving us the picture of their protests here. We see police trying to remove some of the things that residents have used or are using to block the main road here. But residents have been on the streets from very early this morning. It is still a bit tense here in Riverlea, given the ongoing protests right now.
Absolutely. Let's perhaps come out of Riverlea.